try this again. Take 2. What the heck happened?
Oh, were we not recording that?
Yeah.
Oh no, we've been recording since.
So we're still recording on Audacity, but we weren't streaming that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Okay, so
I feel like
take
that's
2,
fine.
and let's see if it
Your
goes.
tail got thicker. She's like, leave me alone.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody else got the links, but let's try this again.
She's crossing her legs.
Facebook, everywhere else is
I was
being
gonna cross your
stupid.
legs. Gotta go right now.
Gotta go.
Okay. Still being a little slow. I wonder if anybody got the messages.
She looked at you yawning and she was like, are you sleepy too?
I'm a sleepy baby. It's like that 30 Rock episode. I'm a sexy baby.
Gross.
So I found. Oh no! What the fuck? That one's interesting. Okay. No, there's that one. I haven't. That one. There we go.
It's ice.
Okay. Live there. Live there. Is that it? Ooh.
Are we streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're live. So I'm just getting out messages now.
Hello, interwebs.
So I wonder if everybody could hear us the last time, or what we were talking about before then. But just all game shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Game Show Network.
Game Show Network. GSN.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't exist anymore, right?
I don't know. I was actually about to ask that.
I don't look that up because I feel like I don't have cable anymore, so it's not like I really know. But
I know. Definitely. We don't need cable anymore.
no, and honestly, most of those are probably like uploaded on YouTube by like.
Oh, for sure. Steven and I watch, because we're weird. We watch, What's My Line? The black and white episodes on YouTube all the time.
Oh, it's still like, I don't know if I posted that. That's probably what took us down the first time.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. Okay. So
What the?
My Spanish flea rendition. Bonus points for people who remember that episode of The Simpsons where Homer actually sings lyrics to Spanish flea.
There's words?
I don't think there's actual words. I think Homer just put words to it. But I could be wrong. There could probably maybe really be words.
I mean, there's not words in it now, which is weird.
Well, not in the Herb Alpert version. Just the regular. But I know I've said this before, at least to you, Stu and I. Whenever my mind is literally not thinking of anything else and it's just like elevator music in my head, that's the song that's in my head.
Really?
Yeah, so sometimes I'll just be dazing, like in a daze, or just totally zoned out and just staring at the wall, and all of a sudden my brain's just like, ba 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 ba.
I want to say that for me, it's like the Three's Company theme song.
That's funny.
Because you even opened up. We opened up with when your rendition of Reba McEntire.
Oh yeah, that song doesn't come up to me, but it's like sometimes, like again I don't have cable anymore, but like when I would just be flipping the channels into Beyond and be like,
Hey!
hey. we're not gonna go into that song again because we've already been there together. You know, we've already gone on that journey.
Like who else gave us a thumbs up?
Let's see, is anyone joining us live? We may just go ahead and get started just so we can
Yeah, we had one.
get the show on the road.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm just gonna check to see if we're on subscriptions.
Where'd you go, people? Can you not join us?
There you
I'm still gonna keep on sharing. Keep on sharing.
I'm just going to share. Did you share it on the Facebook page?
Yes. Did I? Could have swore I did. Come on, Facebook. Why are you being slow?
Okay. Just kidding.
What was that?
A tasty video.
Oh. From afar, you never know if it's if it's a tasty video or porn.
Because she's just like, let me just look up
I'm
something
just
real
gonna
quick.
casually look that up.
Let me just look up something real quick.
No, we ain't that kind of show. We ain't that kind of
No.
show.
No,
No,
we're family friendly, sort of. I don't know,
sort of.
sort of. We're on the
Safe for work.
yeah, we're safe for work. All right, so I guess we'll just go and get started. All right, so this is the New Nostalgia Podcast. I'm Oscar.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm Bugs.
And we're still continuing this little experiment of both streaming and recording at the same time, just so we can have like the live pre-show of us just kind of like, you know, messing around before we get started. We do it every Sunday, or at least we're trying to, every Sunday around 7-ish, 8-ish. So if you're not busy or anything, or you're just kind of like chilling for your Sunday before you go back to work, go ahead and join us on our Facebook page. We also share out the link on Facebook. So we can go and get started on what are we currently listening to, watching, reading, what are we taking on for the week? What have we been consuming this past week? What about you, Bugs? What do you think?
I've kind of taken a little bit of free reign still. You mentioned the No Sleep podcast and
Yeah.
totally didn't realize. I think we somewhat went on a binge. Was it a couple of days ago? Just totally went on the best episode binge and try to see exactly which one we could totally do. And try to figure out which one could actually scare the crap out of us. What did you find? Your faces.
What are you looking up?
No.
Is there the spiders? Or
Spiders.
something?
You can't put your phone down.
Okay.
No Sleep. Every now and then, for some reason, my feed of like the summer hits or the summer music from Spotify will randomly go into an NPR podcast every now and then.
Yeah.
NPR is great.
For going to sleep a little bit, but every now and then it picks up a topic that necessarily didn't want to hear, but it's there. But I'm like, I can skip you over, and I started listening to that. It was the summer playlist that overall, like Oscar mentioned last time, was whatever you like on what pops up on your Spotify playlist will be like, hey, we'll put that into rotation, see if you like it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
is it like your driving mix?
yeah, and that's weird because
I
like
love that.
the
I love that
driving
feature.
mix on the, I pull it up. I swear to God, we'll go driving one day and you'll hear it. It's too random. Like I have Holding Out for a Hero. I have. There's like one or two random songs that just like don't make sense to me. That like why I don't
remember
remember
that
liking.
Bonnie Tyler song.
Yeah,
I need a hero.
yeah, and I'm like, I'll catch myself driving. I'm like, why am I
That's
going
true.
a little bit faster?
All of a sudden, you will suddenly put that on. Yeah.
Just for fun, and it's every now and then, but it's just.
I think
for
of
fun.
Shrek when I think of that song. I think it's Shrek.
Yeah, it's Shrek 2.
Yeah.
Where the godmother's singing it.
I don't watch the movie. Okay.
I really enjoyed Shrek 2. I like Shrek 2. Anyway, random segue.
No. Not the third one? And you
No.
left for the third one?
It's okay. The third one's okay, but the first and the second are my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever see the fourth one?
What was the first one?
No.
I saw the fourth one. I actually liked it better than the third.
That's Shrek. Which one?
Happily.
Is that Shrek Ever After?
Yeah, I think Ever After, something like that.
I don't think I saw that one.
I liked it enough. Like, it's the type of thing where I think I was already over. Like, I was kind of done with Shrek, but then I watched it and I'm like, okay, that's a good way to end it. You know, whatever.
It's a nice. Everybody has their cake.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. We totally interrupted you with Shrek.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Steven?
What about Shrek?
Don't do it.
Has he been watching Shrek?
No, I haven't. Strangely, yeah. I mean, as much as everybody wants to admit it, that's their guilty pleasure. If so, them. But nothing really watching. No. Yeah, nothing. I mean, there's nothing really catching my eye right now on TV, or I mean, on any streaming service. I already finished Letterkenny. We finished Stranger Things. I mean, every now and then I kind of want to rewatch Dexter, or I want there to be a streaming service that had 6 Feet Under. 6 Feet Under is like
you can watch it on HBO.
Oh, whoops.
Mind
you can
blown.
watch it on HBO.
I completely forgot about that. And then I think Barry was some people have been like if you like Dexter, then you kind of go for Barry. But we'll dip our feet in eventually.
But yeah, that one's more like comedy, right?
Yeah. And then I mean Bill Hader is
Oh yeah.
he's somewhat of a grin and bear it kind of person. He's like
He's an awkward dude. Like
Yeah.
I've seen him on I've heard him on podcasts and I've seen him like being interviewed, and he just seems like that type of person you watch because he's like, I wouldn't say like the male Aubrey Plaza, but it's almost like with her it feels like she does it on purpose. For him, I don't think he's always doing it on purpose. Just being awkward.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what we did watch too, the lie detector test.
What's that one?
It was a lie
Oh yeah, the lie detector on the on YouTube.
on YouTube.
I think it's the
We did Jennifer Lawrence.
Vanity
Oh my
Fair
God.
Yeah, it's Vanity
channel?
Fair. Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And then the Stranger Things kids were also on that one.
Yeah, and then they did the Hot Ones thing.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
That's child torture or child endangerment.
So what about you, Oscar? What have you been listening to, watching?
Same thing.
Yeah, there are 2 people in chat.
I've been listening to. I kind of did what Bugs did, is like, because on Spotify it gives you the little option of doing your daily drive. It's like a playlist that's personalized for you, and like when you pick it, it starts off with a NPR news segment. Then it'll give you like 2 or 3 songs, and then it'll like give you another news segment. Like it's pretty good. The only thing is, it's like I think it shows you more of like what you've been listening to, and you haven't really realized you've been listening to. Like a lot of the songs that came out were like from 2006 to 2010 for me, and I was like, oh, I need to start looking for new music. Like just because I think I went on a nostalgia binge, and I've been in that frame for so long. I kind of did that this past month. I think I'm getting kind of over it now. So that I've been listening to another podcast called It's a Thing, which is kind of like an interesting.
So they talk about random stuff. They're like, it's a thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Where it's like, oh, you know, like they were like the one, because it's been going on for a while. And the first one I listened to is the one where they're actually recapping ones that they've done like in the past. And they're like, oh, in 2009, they're like, you know, we talked about electronic cigarettes.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Well, I guess, yeah, it's a thing, you know. And then they're like, avocado toast. It's a thing, you know. Where it's like things that have been in the past, you know, and then like,
Wow.
so now it's like they have like different segments of like, it's a thing for everybody, or it's like, it's my thing now, you know. And it's just interesting to hear people talk about random stuff.
Like Jenny eating ice.
It's
It's a thing.
It's your thing.
Twinkies. It's your thing.
It's my
Although
thing.
I haven't eaten a Twinkie in a long time now.
No.
But remember my Twinkie binge?
And then your taffy phase.
My taffy phase? Yeah. It was a thing.
Yeah. So there's that. And I'm still reading Dune.
Oh, that's
it's
right.
it's a long book.
You're like, it's a thing. It's a process.
It's a process. I'm doing it slowly.
Wow.
I'm taking it all in. So that's me.
Cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been again listening to the No Sleep podcast. We went on a binge the other day, like Bug said, and the one I listened to that was my favorite was White Fall, and that was the season 12 finale.
Yeah.
And I had texted you saying, I'm listening to this, and you were about to listen to it, or you were listening to it.
Yeah, I just started, and I was like, it was already late, so I was like, oh, I'll just finish it later. But when you had said that you were getting through it, I'm like, oh, is it that good?
Oh, yeah. And it's like, it's over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
That's a season ender.
It would be like a short story or like a little novella.
Right.
Like if it was written out and you were reading it.
Exactly. That could have been like I could totally hear that being kind of like, what do you call it? One of those radio dramas. Definitely a radio drama like War of the Worlds or something like that.
Everybody
where it's like,
tune
in next week to see what happened to blah, blah, blah.
The shocking conclusion of
exactly.
Whitefall.
Exactly. And it's just really, really good. The narrators, the actors, they're all really good. The sound effects.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound cheesy. It doesn't sound forced. You're with it through the whole story. The production's done very well, and I really, really enjoyed it. So it's like 143 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And I listened to the whole thing. I just sat there and listened to it.
I was gonna ask you, did you start and finish it in one sitting?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes. And then Steven would come in, and then we were like, okay, what are we going to do for dinner? And then I'd pause it and be like, okay, did we decide what we're going to do for dinner? Okay. And then play, you know.
Pause.
And then it was just me and the dogs sitting here listening to that. And then Steven fell asleep on my lap, too. So it was like Steven, me, and the dogs just all listening to this podcast.
I legit was in and out. And I was figuring out, I was like, are you listening to multiple episodes?
I said, no, it's the same one. You fell asleep at the beginning, and then you woke up towards the middle, and you finished listening to it with me.
No spoilers, but Jesus.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've been listening to that. I've been listening to more podcasts than anything.
Yeah.
Because the other day, I was listening to one of the most random things ever. I think I texted you, and I also texted one of my other friends. Well, it was Richard Simmons' birthday the other day. And I did not...
Or the Life Guru, like, Sweat into the Oldies, Richard.
Sweat into the Oldies, there's only one Richard Simmons.
No, wait, is there?
I don't know.
I have to double check on
what
this.
would be the other one?
Who are you thinking?
Let me double check on this before I look like a fool.
Are you thinking Gene Simmons?
No.
Oh, no, he wouldn't confuse Kiss.
That'd be funny.
Never.
No. Well, yeah, so Richard Simmons, exercise guru, Sweat into the Oldies.
Uh-huh.
I did not know that we lived in a world where Richard Simmons has totally abandoned it. He totally just, went off the face of the, cut off everybody, ghosted everybody, including his closest friends, only talks to, his brother and his, live-in maid for over 35 years, and just is a shut-in in his home. And he's been like this for the past, 4 or 5 years? Maybe a little bit longer? Anyway, I was completely shocked because, to me, Richard Simmons is one of those personalities who exist in the world, and you can look at it and say, I'm so glad that we live in a world where there's someone like Richard Simmons. And then leave it alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, because he's a character. He's, if you don't know who Richard Simmons is, you need to go look him up. He is one of the most flamboyant people you'll ever know. You'll ever know. Well, yeah, you'll ever
encounter,
see.
yeah.
Right? So, and he's helped so many people. He's helped so many people. What do you...
Did we get a comment?
Yvonne has a confession. She used to work out to her old mom's VHS tapes of Sweat to the Oldies.
Hey man, I've never done that. I've wanted to. There's Sweat to the Oldies on YouTube. Because I found some of the videos while I didn't watch them, and I was like, hey, it's nice to know that they're there in case I want to do random aerobics in the house.
Yeah.
But
aside from Tybo.
No, Billy Blanks is crazy. I mean, he's cool, but
and I couldn't do it.
But yeah,
in more than
we
15
had
minutes.
the tapes. I remember trying to do it, and it was hard.
That was RP90X.
God, Yeah, seriously. Okay. So anyway, there's this podcast called Missing Richard Simmons, and it's only 8 episodes long, and it's really surprisingly amazing. It's really good. It sounds and reminds me a lot of Serial. Like, it's so... Okay. The way he investigates, the way he, like... I forget his name. His name is Dan... I forget his last name. But he used to be... He was a close personal friend of Richard. Him and his husband both met Richard in, I think, the class that he used to have at his gym called Slimmons in Hollywood. So they would go, and then one day all of a sudden Richard just didn't go to class. Like, he just didn't go to class, and that was like it. And he's only ever come out once on a phone call on, like, Dateline or the Today Show, something like that. And excuse me. And he was like, I'm fine. I just want, I know everyone's worried, whatever. I'm fine. I just don't want to do it anymore, kind of a thing. Which is strange because he was the kind of person to, like, call someone random who sent him a letter from, like, Ohio or Indiana or something, and he'll get, really touched by their letter, and he'll call them, and he will make that connection with that person and continue to call them for however long they need to. Mm-hmm. Like, there's testimonials of people who are like, Richard would call me every Sunday. We would talk for, like, maybe 20 minutes, but those calls I would look forward to, like, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And he helped so many people. Yeah. And he continued to help so many people, like, just by being him. And then for all that to stop, that's what this man who's doing the podcast is basically like, why would someone like that just stop? Anyway. Yeah. So that's what the podcast is. And I really, like, if you like investigative stuff that sounds like Serial or This American Life, well, listen to it, because that's totally the vibe it is. It's really, really good,
Without giving too much away, do you end up finding out, like, why he kind of gave it all up, or is it...
I haven't listened to the last episode yet. But he goes through different theories. Okay. He goes through different theories, and they're really good. So far, I was satisfied listening to everything that I listened to up until the last episode, because I haven't listened to it yet.
Is it because you don't want to let it go?
No, it's because I think I was listening to it. Then I think you came over, and Steven came home from work, and so I was like, okay, well, we're gonna do something else, and I kind of wanted to listen to it by myself. Yeah. Kind of a thing. So that's why. So, but it's there saved on. It's also on Spotify too. So if you want to listen to it on there, you don't have to listen to it on iTunes.
I think I see it in passing every now and then, but the picture is basically like I forgot the name of that artist.
Matisse.
I want to say it's basically it's like a.
It's like the man with the apple in the middle of his face. Okay. That painting. Yeah. So, but it's Richard Simmons. Mm-hmm. So yes, so it's really, really good. That's also what I've been listening to. Other than that, just been studying, working, and thinking. Magritte. Yes.
The name of the painting, The Son of Man. Okay.
Yes.
It's a replica of that.
I'm not an art enthusiast. No. Like, not really. So I'm sure everybody's yelling at me like, you stupid bitch, it's this. Anyway, sorry guys. But yeah, so just been studying for the counseling exam, working, and taking care of the dogs, and listening to podcasts.
Yeah. I feel like I've kind of gotten more into like a podcast binge this past summer, which has been pretty nice. Like,
I probably need to pick up another one.
Yeah. Oh, and trying to expand my Disney pin collection. That's another thing I've been kind of binging on.
That's cool. All right, so what do we got next?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's been coming up. A lot of controversies, I suppose.
Yeah. So, I think I was at the gym when I found out that they had cast the that they had cast Ariel for the live action version of The Little Mermaid, and I was like, ooh! So I automatically, because I know Jenny, your favorite Disney princess ever is Ariel. Yeah. So I first saw it, and then I went to it, and I sent it to you. You're like, oh, I already knew. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you would, but but then it's like after I sent it to you, it's like I read what it was about, and and it was done. And then maybe the next day, there was all this controversy about like hashtag not my Ariel. And
that's fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, okay, so before we get too much into it, like, I think that's just crazy that people, it's like we kind of live in a day and an age where it's like, this is a thing still. But as someone who is, like, for me personally, I mean, I like Little Mermaid. I mean, I saw it when I was little, but it's not like a big thing to me. For someone who's like a mega fan, you know, what's your take on this whole controversy?
I don't think there needs to be a controversy. I think, for me, all that matters is, can she sing? And because that's, to me, the most important part. The most important part is her voice. I mean, can she sing? And she can very well. And I didn't really know who she was. A friend of mine sent me a clip of her singing Unforgettable, and it was beautiful. Like, it was lovely. Like, you can close your eyes and you can hear Ariel. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm good. That's all I needed. And yeah. I just didn't want her to be sounding like a pop star. I did not want that. I did not want her to sound auto-tuned. I didn't want any of that, because that's what we've been getting a lot of in the Disney animation, in the Disney live action films. We've been getting a lot of auto-tune, and that's been bugging the crap out of me.
Well, I mean, I kind of noticed that, like, at least with, like, I mean, I thought the Beauty and the Beast live action remake was good, but I mean, like, if you listen to, like, you know, Emma Watson's voice, that's what it sounds like.
Right. Yeah. And I was okay with that, because Belle, to me, is not one. Like, singing is not one of her priorities. Mm-hmm. Right. When you look at Belle as a character, little girls don't say, and she sings. No, but when it comes to Ariel, that's her thing. Yeah. She sings. Well, she's a siren. She's a mermaid. She has to.
They take her voice away for a
reason.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So that is extremely important, and I think that she's beautiful. I think the actress they cast is beautiful. I think she's gonna look beautiful, and I know that there's a lot of friends of mine and even some of my family who was like, "What?" And I don't know if it's just because they don't like change, you know. But you know what? Who cares? That's where I kind of am. Like, I used to hate change. I really used to hate change. Kind of like, don't mess with what's good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And to me, Ariel is Ariel. You know, the voice of Ariel, Jodie Benson, is also really on board with this. You know, like, all of the super Ariel fans that I know personally love this idea, and I think that everyone else needs to get on board with it and start realizing that even though the story is a Danish story, in the end, the argument that it's not the original story, or it's not the original mermaid or whatever, or Ariel was white or whatever. You know what? Ariel wasn't even, the mermaid in the story wasn't even a female. The story of The Little Mermaid is about an unrequited homosexual love.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's not get into logistics.
Well, I've also read someone say, they're like, well, Ariel's not female, she's not male, she's a fish. So really, the people who the ones who should be really upset are fish.
That's right. So let's all be open-minded. Let's appreciate that. Let's appreciate that the girl who's cast as Ariel has a beautiful voice, and she's beautiful herself. And let's concentrate on the real
fish have rights too.
Let's concentrate on the real issue and the fact that they cast Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
The real travesty.
Yes, that's the real travesty. I'm just kidding. I love Melissa McCarthy, don't get me wrong. She's not Ursula. Hashtag not my Ursula. I really think I'm sorry, she's not. I'm sorry. I think that should have gone to a drag queen. Since Ursula was based on Divine, probably one of the most infamous drag queens, in my opinion. It should have gone to, that it should have gone to somebody who could have pulled it off in that way. I think it would have been amazing if Harvey Fierstein played it.
We played that performance of that earlier, and
I told you, I get goosebumps. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Not only is it comical, not only is it perfect, not only does it get Pat Carroll's original kind of raspy voice, but it's just to me, it should have been a drag queen. Ursula should have been a drag queen.
We don't necessarily have anybody who we think would be, because that was the question that was asked, is who do we think would be better as a better Ursula actress-wise?
Harvey Fierstein.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still feel maybe like, I know we're in a time where it's like we're super progressive and stuff, but I feel like I don't think Disney's ready for that yet, though.
Yeah.
Like it'd be nice if we were. I'm not saying.
I would agree with that. Like I wish we were. Like
I don't think Disney's there yet.
I mean, as far as we got, it's probably Forky.
I've also seen fan-made people say Queen Latifah, and I would totally be for that.
That'd be cool.
I think that would be really cool. I mean, we got Will Smith as a genie. I think it would be really cool to have Queen Latifah, and the reason I made that connection is because, do you remember that episode of The Fresh Prince where Queen Latifah and she comes out with the that's what when I think of them, when I think of Queen Latifah, I think of that episode. Okay. I don't know why. And so I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. To
kind of have like that mirror thing there.
I think I saw online where people were already like trying to like cast based on what they knew or who was being cast as Ariel, and they're like, oh, well, Idris Elba being King Titan.
Yeah, that one was another one.
I saw that one. I thought that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
I think the other confirmation other than her, and that's what I like about it, is that the only way I say Disney's getting a little progressive or trying to get better is that they're honestly casting people that some people have heard of and then some people who haven't. So I think the other one, the confirmation, is Scuttle is played by Awkwafina. And Awkwafina is like, she's barely getting, I mean, she's a rapper. And anybody who knows her as a rapper is like, okay, she's broken out in a couple of films and comedy bits and stuff like that. She's gotten out in Crazy Rich Asians. She's got a couple of series out, and then she's got a couple summer serious movies coming out.
Yeah. So
it's a good change for her to actually get something like this where it can possibly show more dramatic, but also still show more of her comedic side.
Right.
So, I mean, they know where to stick with the roots and stuff. So they got somewhat of the casting right. So just kind of wish that was like, I wish I could hear the article coming and boiling right now is like, Melissa McCarthy can't because of scheduling conflicts. We're going to have to go somewhere else right now. Or
Oh, you don't think that she would move everything aside for Disney? I think she would. I don't think that would be an issue for her. I think that would be a priority, actually. But the thing is, can she be that extra? Is my question.
I think Melissa McCarthy can be extra. I don't know if she can be that kind of extra.
Yeah. That's my question. Can she be that kind of extra? And I hope so.
It's like, show us a movie where she was.
If they were not just rumors and she truly is cast as Ursula, then I hope that it's not underwhelming the way Jafar was underwhelming, because that was definitely underwhelming. Not cool. And I love Jafar as a villain. I just don't like the way they portrayed him in the live action at all.
Well, speaking of underwhelming, we haven't watched it yet, but I think word's kind of going around on the live action or I don't know if it's really live action. It's mostly computer generated, but the liver action Lion King is coming out. If it hasn't already come out, has it already come out?
I think it's.
I think it's this week.
Yeah.
But definitely like pre-screenings and stuff like that has gone out. We have not pre-screened it. We were just kind of waiting for the day, for when it comes out on that day to go watch it. I hadn't been afraid about it. I hadn't been worried. I hadn't been anything.
But early reviews and kind of like what they've been showing on like the talk show circuit.
It's not good.
It's a little scary.
Yeah, it is a little scary. It is a little scary. And, you know, I was actually not worried that it was going to be pretty much a frame-by-frame shot of the original. And that's what I've been hearing, that it is kind of a frame-by-frame shot. So, does it matter if you're spoiled because you've already seen it? What kind of got to me is I saw the Hakuna Matata clip, and I think your brain doesn't realize that you kind of need the expressions of the
like facial expressions,
the animated right, that you get in the animated feature.
Yeah.
For this lion, this meerkat and warthog to have expressions on their face, because when you see it in this live action, there's no expression. Because they're just animals,
They're just. I mean, you do see their mouths moving, but it's not like their expressions in their face and their eyes and
it doesn't have. Yeah. They don't have a personality. You know what I mean?
More humanistic facial expressions. Yeah.
More or less the comparison to possibly the not. Why was I going to say that? I was going to repeat myself, but more or less the Jungle Book, because that was another film that he had previously done, and it's basically I feel like they might have saw his work in the Jungle Book. They were like, hey, he might know something. He might know something a thing or two.
The Jungle Book I liked. I didn't mind it at all. But there is a human in Jungle Book. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So sorry, the dog's over here stretching. So there's I need to watch it again, but it's like I do kind of forget that the Jungle Book happened. I'm not gonna lie. Like everybody's like the Jungle Book. I'm like, oh yeah.
There's multiple reiterations too. I mean, even the
it's been redone a lot because it's
we got 2-3 Mowgli stories. His origin stories. Like we freaking needed that. I mean, there's stories that shouldn't be really touched, and I feel like Mowgli's like one of them. It's like freaking, I don't know. It's been done. It's overdone into the pavement.
Right. It's not an original Disney thing, right? Because it's its own story.
Yeah.
The Jungle Book is its own story. So, and that's one thing that I was telling you guys. I kind of wonder if when it comes to the newer, more contemporary Disney films like Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid,
like ones that have been released more recently,
past the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Do they not have the liberty to take with them artistically as they do the original ones, like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Dumbo, even?
I mean, that was still not. I mean, Tim Burton took what he possibly could, and there was like certain things, of course, that were simple homages versus like straight shot for shot. That's what like. When you hear, of course, what do they have exactly free reign of? Oh, here's the book of the script. Here's the book of the script. Without my voice cracking. Here's the book of the script, and this is what you can do. Oh yeah, let me go and give you a dozen page of what you can't do. So let's not dwell over here, and like that's what I feel like Disney's like hindering over anybody who has complete somewhat free reign. But I feel like Tim Burton really didn't have that, and I feel like, of course,
he didn't have that much pushback.
Yeah, he didn't have that much pushback. They were like, okay, go ahead and do this. That's cool. Like, I didn't feel like that at all. Like, and it's been a while since, I don't know when the last Tim Burton film that he released, but totally didn't feel that at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of wonder, because I mean, we were kind of talking about it the other day. It's kind of like if, I wonder what people are expecting when they go in to watch a movie like that. Like, are they expecting the kind of thing where when you go in, it's exactly what you're used to, it's exactly what you've seen before, just in a more like in a nicer package, you know, to where it's like this, you know, it's more CGI, it's more what we're accustomed to seeing now, or what kids are accustomed to seeing now, versus the old school animation style that Disney, you know, has done. Because I mean, we were watching it, just that little beginning part of it, and the animation still holds up.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, but maybe that's not what, you know, Disney wants to be known for going forward, so that's why they're redoing it completely.
They even their own animation movies that's not Pixar, like Frozen and Wreck-It Ralph, that animation is computerized.
It's still, yeah.
So it's different. It's not, you know, sketched, or it's not, there's no ink and paint anymore.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of, I feel like that's what would lose its touch. I mean, what have been the last one? That's kind of like that.
The last drawn animation,
hand-drawn.
Prince and the Frog.
Even that had more weight to it.
Yeah.
That had a lot.
I
lot
love
of
the
weight.
Princess and the Frog.
But I kind of wonder, like going back to Lion King, I wonder if
I'll fix that.
I've never seen Prince and the Frog. I kind of wonder if people are going to go in expecting exactly what they saw, or if they're going to go in expecting, you know, it just to be a little different, you know, like most of the remakes have been.
Yeah.
Where they're just, you know, it's like the same basic story but just done differently, or like, you know, it's just updated or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know how much you can improve, or how much you can change.
How do you improve greatness?
Yeah, it's like it really was like there's no extra meat on that on that movie. You know, it's kind of like everything to me. It's like every character that's in there should be there, and there's no character that you can get rid of. I wouldn't want to add anything to that movie.
Even the casting of the voice actors.
It's
how
all
do you make
A-list,
them? Yeah, it's like who's better than James Earl Jones? No one. So that's why they got him again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that quote, like, you found that picture. It was like, thank you, James Earl Jones, for sticking around,
right.
You know, and gracing us with your presence once again. And that's really, I mean, everybody else kind of not, I don't want to say falls by the wayside, but even then, like, it was, I feel the casting is bigger, but minimal.
Don't get me wrong. I don't have any problems with the casting.
No, I don't either.
Now, because I'm actually really excited to hear everybody that they've casted for these characters. But is it gonna be? Are we going to get that? Are they going to be able to act well enough through the voice acting to give the character personality without the facial expressions?
Yeah.
You know, is that gonna be enough? I hope.
And we'll see. I mean, it's like at this point, it's just you know, taking other people's word, you know, for the early reviews, but also like, it's just when it comes down to it, when we watch it, we'll feel what we feel, and then
we'll take it.
We'll come back, and we'll come back and let y'all know. But at this point, I think we're just a little bit like nervous of how it's gonna turn out.
Oh yeah, it's definitely to be.
Yeah, but it just seems like at this point, the way that the actors that they chose, the people that they have working on it, I mean, it really is kind of their movie to mess up. It's like, you can't say it's going to be like it's not going to be the actors. It's not going to be, you know, the animation so much. It's just going to be, if something is wrong with it or something is, you know, suspect, it's going to be more like maybe just an all come together.
Yeah.
But,
now, the movie I am super 100% excited for is Mulan.
Okay.
Have you seen that trailer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that one is supposed to be more...
It looks serious.
Yeah, like a serious movie.
And I'm so excited about that.
It's not going to have the music.
Yeah, it's not going to be... There's not going to be a musical. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a musical. And to my knowledge, there's not going to be Mushu. Like, there's not going to be... He's
in
not
the traditional
be,
sense?
In the traditional sense.
Or like in the
he's not,
animated sense?
I don't think, but do not quote me. I don't know for sure. I don't know. Because I kind of saw that the cricket has a voice actor, but I wasn't completely sure. I could have read it wrong. So I'm just kind of like, okay, what? So I don't know what's happening there. But I hope, I've been saying this since I first found out that there was going to be a Mulan live action. I want it to look like a martial arts film so bad.
And the people who they casted, like, really go a pinpoint. It's the people that have made newer martial arts films, like, from the get-go. I mean, to even add it more to the twist, they should even add Stephen Chow if they want to.
That would be awesome. He
would be the humor, and everybody else is like, who's he? Like, have you not seen a Stephen Chow? Like, you got Donnie Yen, you got who else in there? What was it? The guy who did? He's going to be in the new Quentin Tarantino film, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Who did play Bruce Lee, or is it the one from the?
No, it's the one. It's the actor who played Bruce Lee in Dragon in the Bruce Lee story.
Okay, and that's been quite some time because he hasn't really had anything.
He looks the same.
All right.
Yes, he has. He's done a lot of different things. I can't tell you off the top of my head because I, while I love martial arts films, I'm not like, oh my god, I have to watch every martial arts film movie.
For me, it's Donnie Yen though.
But I'm just super excited. Jet Li's the Emperor.
Oh, there you go.
You know, I'm way excited.
Yeah, I mean, it brings a lot of promise. But, I mean, there's the people who are, like, on the fence are just like, no music, then there's no point.
There's a part where she's doing Tai Chi in the preview. It looks so beautiful. I'm so excited.
The actress who they picked is pretty good, too, so... Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I got a comparison shot of what she was traditionally wearing and what she has as a sword. I mean, it doesn't really look like a sword so much as a dagger, but she has a traditional katana and the kimono or the armor or whatever.
And it looks like she has a sister. It's in the preview. It seems like she does, because there's her father, her mother, and another girl sitting at the table while they're eating, and you assume that it's her sister. We could be wrong, but so.
That film does bring promise.
Yeah, I mean, it's so early stages to be able to say how it's going to end up, but I mean, at this point, it looks really good. It looks like there's something to be excited about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, other things to be excited about. I guess this is going to be like our Disney-centric... I mean, not that all our other episodes are Disney-centric movies, or Disney-centric in nature, but we were also talking about... the Star Wars Galaxy Edge.
Oh, yeah.
I guess is it its own new theme park? Is it a part of Magic Kingdom, or because for me I don't really know that much about it. I've just been hearing a little bits and pieces. I think you all know more than I do.
Right. So it's its own section in the Disney parks. So just like if you've ever been to Disney World, remember, is not Disneyland. Disney World is in Florida, Disneyland is in California, and Disneyland only has California Adventure, which is its own park, and Disneyland. And they're together and yet separate. They're like literally across from each other, but they're their own parks. Mm-hmm. Disney World has their own parks. There's Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. And the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be in the Hollywood Studios park.
Okay.
And so it's its own section, just like Magic Kingdom has Tomorrowland and Fantasyland, Adventureland, and so on and so forth. This is going to have Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
And so the cool thing about Galaxy's Edge is that you get to experience, or they're going to do the best that they can to get you to feel like you're on Batuu, right?
Yeah.
And like you're on that planet and only that planet and not in the park, you know?
Like you are separated, you are on a different planet once
right.
you enter
so
that
they're
section.
Exactly. So they're going to be talking like they would on that planet. There's going to be like, you're not going to be able to go up to a cast member and ask them where do I go to make my android, or droid, where do I go to make my lightsaber? You have to, kind of speak the lingo there. So there's a cantina there that's basically the bar where they're gonna have their own drinks. They have their pre-mixed drinks and stuff like that. They're mostly served in really cool souvenir glasses. And they're going to be they look kind of pricey, but you can't expect not to go there and not spend money.
Yeah.
But from what all the experiences that I've seen, everybody who's gone to the Disneyland version, because that one's already open, the one in California, the one in Florida opens in August. From what I've seen, everyone loves it.
Yeah.
So when there's a place to build your own lightsaber. There's a place to build your own droids. They have a pet shop. You can go and adopt a porg or a lizard or an Ewok, I think. Different kinds of little creatures, kind of Build-A-Bear style. So it's going to be kind of Build-A-Bear style where you take them home in a little box, and I think you probably name them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they have the cantina where you can get the blue and green milk. So it's really cool, stuff like that. And from what my understanding is, what?
Yvonne mentioned that she can't have the blue or green milk.
No, yeah, sorry.
Because we found out it is coconut based.
Yeah, both of them are coconut based, so they're sweet drinks.
Maybe
they're non-alcoholic, I think. So
yeah.
The blue and green milk is non-alcoholic. What was the other thing I was going to say? Okay. So from my understanding, you have to schedule your time there. So when you're going to Disney World and you're planning out your time, because it's so anticipated and everybody wants to be there, you have a max of 4 hours to be there.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sure that'll, lift eventually. I don't know how long, but I think because there has to be a capacity, because it's a section, it's not a whole park. Just like the park has a capacity, this got to have a capacity too. So you have to make reservations. So you make reservations for your time slot, and you can make it up to 6 months in advance. So this is something you do have to plan. You can't just show up and go and be like, I'm here, I want to go into... No, you have to actually plan when you're going and be like, okay, you want to go for Galaxy's Edge? You have to plan your time. And the thing is, you should be able to do everything in that 4 hours. And there's also I think the Millennium Falcon ride is there too.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to ride the ride. You'll be able to make your lightsaber, your droid, eat the cantina if you want to. Although I have heard to go and experience the drinks at the cantina, but the food there is kind of underwhelming. So don't worry about the food.
Okay. Like use your time for something else.
Right. Or eat somewhere else in the actual park.
Yeah.
And you're also not going to find regular souvenirs, Star Wars souvenirs at this place. You're not going to find anything that says Star Wars in that place.
Oh, okay.
You're going to find things that are particular to that planet.
So it's almost like you are going and you are experiencing what it would be like to be in the movie on that planet.
Right.
There's not going to be like, lightsaber, earrings that you can buy, or Star Wars t-shirts.
Those will be in the park itself, in Hollywood Studios, probably outside of that area, probably where Star Tours is.
Okay.
But for the actual Galaxy's Edge, no. I think there is a little post there where it's kind of like you can buy a shirt that says, what is it? What's it called?
I can't remember. Oh, the Batuu Outpost? Or
yes.
Galaxy?
Star or something? I forget.
It's not Star Tour.
No. I forgot. But it'll say Batuu, like it, and it'll look like it's like, when you go to Austin, and you get a t-shirt that says Austin, Texas, that's what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Like that.
Keep Batu weird.
Yeah, stuff like that, which I find really cool. Like, you'll be able to get a Batu snow globe, like, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, either, like, believe me, the way I'm describing it is nowhere near how awesome it looks. Steven, can you put a link to the Disney Food Blog video?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's doing that. I recommend to watch these guys. Disney Food Blog is awesome. Also, the Tim Tracker, they're also amazing Disney vloggers. I heard your cousin got to meet them.
Yeah,
that's
Angela
so cool.
Got to meet him and his wife.
That is so cool. I love them. They do a lot of Disney reviews. They go and experience the stuff for you so you can see a first-hand experience, and they tell you if they liked it or not. You're with them the whole time. Excuse me. And it's really, really cool. So if you're planning on going to Disney, plan with these guys.
Pretty cool.
I should work for Disney again.
I know you should. I don't know. I think the thing I'd be the most excited to do would be to make the lightsaber. Like, it's like between making a droid and making a lightsaber. I'm not sure which one.
You're gonna want to do both.
I know I'm gonna want to do both.
Lisa is already like, you know what? Well, since we're going during the summer, I'm gonna buy you a droid for your birthday.
Oh god, yeah.
Because I don't really want to make a droid. I want my own lightsaber.
You just want to have the experience of making a droid?
I want to see you make a droid.
Okay.
I want to see you and Lisa make droids. Lisa's already planning. Like, she's like, I'm taking $1,000 just for this place. You know, just so she doesn't feel like, no. Like
I'm gonna get what I want.
You're gonna get what you want, and it's gonna be good quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be
and kind of like Disney official, you know, Star Wars official.
And you know, it's so funny because a lot of everyone's whole thing is, you know, Disney just wants to make money. Of course, Disney wants to make money, but at the same time, you do not go. Let me tell you this right now: do not go to Disney if you're one of those people who are like, Disney's a moneymaker monster, blah, blah, blah. We know that. You're not going to convince anybody who loves Disney that it's not that, because it is. Mm-hmm. We all know this.
We can quote Oscar on that one about even the Disney episode. You could be the most jaded person.
Yeah.
and still walk away.
It doesn't matter. But the thing is, you cannot say that Disney gives you a cop-out or cheap experience when it comes to merchandising or when it comes to the actual experience at Disney World.
Yeah.
You're going to make memories. That's what they do. You go there to make memories. It's up to you if you want to buy shit. But, I mean, the memories that you make at this place is amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
The whole Hilt experience, and we saw the quote earlier, and it's kind of funny. But I mean, just looking at everything, the description of the hilts and the description of what you can put, my whole theme, the fascination that kind of caught me, and I'm like, cool. They get to view a selection of what crystals you can put. My first thought was there could be any crystal that besides they give you is the 5 or 6 crystals that they do.
You can purchase your own crystal there.
You can purchase your own crystals. But my first thought was, coming back from a game, The Force Unleashed, you have an ability to get a black crystal.
There is a black crystal that you can buy.
So I was like...
It's a mystery thing. So it's like kind of mysterious. Like, you could definitely be like, oh, I want a red crystal. Because the thing is, I think the different colors are like red, pretty much the colors of the rainbow, right?
Almost, yeah.
You can get whatever colors of the rainbow. I think those are the available crystals. And the red crystals come in a red little canister. A little thinner than a film looking canister kind of a thing. Yeah. That's what it looks like. But so does the black one. But you don't know if you're getting a black one or not. So if you open up the red canister thinking you're getting, I was like, oh, I want a red crystal, but you get a black one, then that's really special.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be like really special and like crazy because it's like not a once in a lifetime thing, but it's few and far between.
Like it's like there's probably like one every
100 or so.
Yeah.
Or 50 maybe. I don't know. But yeah. So Steven's like, I want a black one.
But then
it doesn't make. Unfortunately, it doesn't make your lightsaber shine black.
But
it makes it shine red. Because we've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But the red crystal does totally, like, I mean, the crystal makes your, whatever color your crystal is, obviously, that's the color your lightsaber is. But the black one, unfortunately, shines red.
Yeah.
I know.
But it's cool, though. It's fucking cool.
Is there a white lightsaber? Because I've seen that in, like, that they had that in, like, one of the cartoons. But I don't know if they would be able to do...
I don't think so.
That'd be interesting.
I think they have pretty much just blue, green, yellow,
I think they should just do it.
Red. I think there's a violet one, like a pinkish looking one. But if you're gonna choose your crystal in the actual experience, I think you get to choose between 3 different colors, 3 or 4.
Kind of like it comes with the experience, and then if you want another one, you have to purchase it.
Right.
Okay. So it's a little extra.
A little extra.
Forking it over. Still would do it.
All right.
But your lightsaber is gonna make the noises and everything.
That's cool.
So, yeah, man.
Sounds like a fun experience. Anything else that we got, guys? Other than so we've kind of gone through all the Disney properties.
I know. I've been trying to. Now that I'm looking at this dog, if you are a dog lover, Disney just came out with a Disney dog collection merchandise at the Disney store. Just FYI. Disney, not sponsored by Disney.
We are
We're not sponsored
we'll
by
gladly
Disney.
take sponsorships if you,
Yeah.
Disney, if you want to sponsor us. Plan your next vacation at Disney.
I love it.
All right. So I think we're pretty good to move on. I think it's like the last little bit of our podcast that we always do. We like to look back 30 years ago.
Oh, yes.
To kind of see what was, at the top of the charts on the billboards. What was the top 5 movies? The dog's just rolling around, just being cute. What was the top 5 movies at the box office, and like what were some of like the major things that happened 30 years ago this weekend? So what you got, Bugs?
Let's see. In film, what do I got? Film, or just film and TV wise, I got Steve Miller's star unveiled on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Cool.
And that's like more than 30 years. Well, that's all I got on that one.
I have here for a film, the July 14th through the 16th in 1989, that the top 5 movies were, number 5 was Peter Pan reissued. Number 4 was License to Kill. Number 3 was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
The Disney version of Peter Pan?
Yep.
Oh, that's
Number 2 was
that's
Batman.
apropos. Cool.
And number 1 was Lethal Weapon 2.
All right. In too old for this shit.
And I see like for the Billboard top, well, you can do top 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Buffalo Stance by Nene Cherry. I don't know who that is. Rock On by Michael Damian. Don't know who that is.
We probably hear the song.
I'm sure we've heard it. We just can't think of.
Rock On.
Rock On from Dream a Little Dream.
Yeah, I think we have.
The movie, the one with movie with what's his face, the Corys.
Ah.
Okay.
What comment?
Every Little Step by Bobby Brown is number 3.
Every little step. What?
No, Yvonne goes like, read my comment, and I was like, what did you put? And she goes, and if you have a Disney debit card from Chase, it's a discount at the Disney store.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, thanks, Yvonne.
So again, we are willing to be sponsored by Disney.
Come on, Disney.
We will clean ourselves up.
We will stop the profanity.
We will gladly take your money. Number 2 is I'll Be Loving You by New Kids on the Block.
Oh.
I'll be loving you
Forever. And then the number one was "Wind Beneath My Wings" by Bette Midler.
I won't sing that, I promise.
Yeah, we don't have the rights. And she'll sue. Anything else that happened? Any like event of interest that you may see on the website, dudes?
Let's see if any. Let's see. Ziggy, please, no move.
Ziggy snoring.
Oh, never mind.
It's family affair. As we sit here with the dogs on the lap and on the floor.
I'm not seeing anything. No, not today.
Okay. Well, that was 30 years ago.
Today. I feel like we need a little like segue song.
I know.
Yeah.
Doo doo doo.
30 years ago today. That kind of wraps things up. If you guys have any, if you guys have anything that you want us to talk about, like any kind of topic that you want us to go over, or any kind of like thing that you want us specifically to talk about, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Go ahead, leave a review in iTunes. Go ahead and hit us up on Twitter or Facebook. And again, this is still part of the experiment of doing the live streaming portion. So if you guys are free Sunday evenings, you're getting ready for work or whatever, and you're just kind of like lounging around, you have nothing to do, you're doing your laundry, go ahead and listen to us. We're pretty much just like hanging out. And go ahead and leave us some comments if you have anything that you want us to talk about live. What else? Is there something else in the...
I hate Mark. I'm pretty sure that's Mark right now.
What?
What do you say?
And I'm pretty sure he just made this account just to tell me this. You fixed the audio and you stopped blaming us. Good job. But his handle is Robert Has Downs Jr.
Oh, no.
Come on, man. That's a fresh wound. That's funny, though. All I did was I just brought up the audio. That was it.
Very nice.
See,
Very
we take your comments. We're not telling you to turn up your volume. But pretty much that's been our podcast. I'm Oscar.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm Bugs.
And this has been the New Nostalgia Podcast, guys. Go and stay classic.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.